The Boston Celtics have officially eliminated the Miami Heat in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals and will now play the Golden State Warriors in the NBA Finals. Overall, I thought this was a pretty good Eastern Conference Finals series. It went 7 games, even though the first 4 games were pretty much the two teams just exchanging blowouts left and right, basically because of the 3-point shooting differences in each of the games. But once the game got to Game 5 and Boston won 93-80, after that, the series got really interesting as the Heat found a way to win Game 6 on the road thanks to Jimmy Butler's 47 points, the most by a Miami Heat player when facing elimination. And many thought this was another game that the Celtics squandered, similar to how they blew the game against the Bucks in Game 5 when they could have gone up 3-2. But obviously they found a way to win that series. So they lose Game 6 and they have to go on the road to Miami for Game 7. And they found a way to win. It's from the start of the game, they were just beating Miami on the boards and in transition heavily and making threes. It was pretty much just Jimmy Butler and Bam playing by themselves. And it was like an 11 to 12 point-ish game throughout the whole time. And then Miami went on an 11-0 run in the fourth, late in the fourth. And Jimmy Butler didn't really contribute to that run, surprisingly, but they cut the game all the way down to a 2-point deficit, and Jimmy Butler was coming up on the right wing and pulled up for a 3 in front of Al Horford and missed it. If he made it, they would have went up 1, but he didn't, and my thought on that is pretty much he's the superstar player, and he was the only reason they were even in that situation and had a chance to win the game. So I understand why he took the shot, and he definitely had the merit and deserved to be able to take that shot. I would have tried to make a smarter play and take that to the basket where you can maybe draw a foul on Al Horford and maybe get to the line and try and make 2 free throws to win it there. But regardless of that, it is what it is. The Celtics found a way to win this game, win this series, and get to the NBA Finals. Pretty much what they've been doing all playoffs, being resilient, finding a way to bounce back after losses. And just leading up to this series, they had to play Brooklyn in the first round, KD and Kyrie. Even though the Nets were pretty inconsistent all season long, it's still pretty hard to face caliber players of Kyrie Irving and KD in the first round and to sweep them nonetheless. And all those games were tough and competitive. It's not like the Celtics were just coasting to easy victories. They had to fight in every one of those games. And then in the second round, they play Milwaukee, even though they caught a break with Chris Middleton being out. And I personally believe that the Bucks would have won that series had they had Chris Middleton healthy. But you can't really use that excuse because the Bucks definitely had their chance to win the series as well because they were up 3-2, had a chance to close at home, couldn't do it, had to go back to Boston for Game 7, and they couldn't win. And the Celtics found a way to win, and then they got to play the Heat. And then Miami leading up to this series, they played Atlanta in the first round. Nobody thought they should have had any worry in that series, and they won that series in 5. And then they played the Sixers in the second round without Joel Embiid in the first 2 games, and they took care of them in 6 games. Would that series have been different if Embiid was healthy the whole time? Maybe. It looked that way when he came back in Game 3, and they got Game 4 as well, so it was tied 2-2. So I thought it would be an interesting series. But then the Heat found a way to win, and then it all came down to the Heat and the Celtics for the Eastern Conference crown. And heading into this series, I thought Boston had the edge just because, like the Heat, they can play very tough and physical defense, but they also have more firepower on the offensive end with Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. Even Marcus Smart can step up and get hot from 3 every now and then and give you 20 points. Guys like Grant Williams and Al Horford can hit threes. And I thought the Celtics just found a way to get tough baskets more than the Heat did because outside of Jimmy Butler, the Heat offensive attack was very inconsistent throughout the whole series. And Bam showed up in Game 3 and last game, but as a second best player, he wasn't good enough to be that guy, to be that number 2 option to help get the Heat over the hump. And it'll be very interesting to see what Miami does in the offseason to try and get over that hump because they still have Jimmy Butler. They still have Bam. Maybe they trade Tyler Hero and try and get another scorer like Donovan Mitchell or Bradley Beal. But they were this close, and sometimes it just comes down to one shot. And as for the Celtics, they're going to be playing the Warriors. It should be a very interesting matchup. I'll probably do a video with my outlook and prediction for that series, so stay tuned for that. But for now, thanks for watching this video. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe, and yeah, thank you.